Hello. Empathy in sports can make teams and players win, will make others lose. Hello, my name is Nolan Fisher, and today I'm presenting about empathy in sports. Now, empathy in sports can affect a team's overall performance. And you may ask, how does that happen? But first, let me give you a quick story of mine. So when I was younger, I lived in Royal Oak, and I went to this Jamboree Royal Oak soccer travel event. This is a big fundraiser. They had all sorts of food stands, all these activities and games, and every year they'd have this juggling competition. So I was about, 7, 8, or 9. I went for 3 years. And, and I would go with my friends, and we'd do this juggling competition, and I'd always lose. Now, I was super frustrated. I never enjoyed it, yet, because my friends asked me, I was one of them. So let's get back to last year. I worked at the CK soccer camp for little kids here on campus. And on the first day, we had a juggling game. And there was this one kid that couldn't get it. So I walked over, talked to him, gave him some pointers, and he still couldn't get it. Okay? Second day, same kind of thing. Third day, same thing. And the fourth day, he finally got it. And the expression on his face was priceless. And I definitely understand where he's coming from, because I was in his shoes years before. So empathy is quite simple at its roots. We use empathy well enough, and the chances of winning are higher. So there's a formula for it. I have it right here. So if we plug in the right things, we're going to win the game. And that's obviously a joke, because it doesn't work out. But empathy can affect sports. So coaches need it, right? Well, of course. They need to know when to push their athletes and when not to. If a player is busting his tail and not delivering results, what do? Do you yell at him? Do you support him? I don't know. A coach needs to balance the negative and positive remarks coming out of his mouth. Because if a coach is super positive and he's happy for his players, the player will be more happy and want to play better. Now, in addition to coaches, players use empathy. A team captain will rally the team up, and he may go up to a player before the game and get ready, or bring everyone together for a team chant. And that gets the morale of the team up. Now, and if the player and the team captain plays well, the team usually follows. Also, the opposition knows how to use empathy. I'm not saying that we do. So, if we know how to use empathy well enough, we can understand how the opposition operates. For example, if another player on the other team is dragging the morale down, we can exploit that. Like if he's making silly fouls or doing things he shouldn't, then we could get points or we can get an advantage. So if we do that, we can have an advantage we never knew we had. Also, fans exhibit signs of empathy. They understand the sport. They definitely know what it takes to succeed in the sports they're supporting. And in some cases, they'll put more sweat and tears than the players themselves. Now, if you don't believe me, if we just look on like any match or game on TV, and the camera will scroll over to the fan section, you'll see everyone with their face paint. You'll see everyone with sweating, jumping, screaming, chanting. They definitely know what it takes, and if their team loses, they definitely know how much it hurts them. Now, empathy is a great trait of a strong leader. For me, a team leader should address their team appropriately, and for me, players have not. They have called me out on silly things that they should not have, and that has dragged the morale of the team down. Now, empathy can fix that. If a team has empathy, they'll be better. Now, I have a quick video to show you guys here, and it highlights how empathy of a team can really boost and make a team better. So this is a Barcelona Academy team. They're one of the top clubs in the world, if you guys are familiar with it. And this is their younger team. They just won a world championship in Japan against one of Japan's top teams. And it shows the Barcelona kids actually empathizing and going over to players and making sure they're okay. Now, these kids develop a sense of empathy from a very young age. They will know how to learn and develop others. So when we watch this, obviously, it's very important for them. Yeah. Now, because they're so empathetic, they can really relate with each other. Now, we're going to go through that. Because they'll develop a sense of leadership from a very young age. Now, that's very important. So the next thing is, what's empathy in sports today? What's the main example of it? So recently, LeBron James reached out to Ronda Rousey after her big loss. In a tweet, he said, "They build you as high as they can, put you on the highest mountain just to tear you down." That's coming from somebody who has experienced it, and that's exactly what she's going through, because I was that athlete. Now, when she lost, she was very devastated. She never wanted to fight again. And LeBron has definitely lost in big championships. He knows how it feels. And even though LeBron's contribution was small, it was part of a deciding factor to her to fight once again. Empathy cares less about the person. It doesn't care about how many goals or scores an individual has. Empathy cares about what the person can do. Now, as student athletes, we can use empathy in more than just the field or court. We use it to understand others, learn about different situations, and rise when everything's difficult. Now, if we use empathy from a very young age, we can develop into great human beings and learn the best we can. Thank you.